Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Hi, hello, everyone. I'll just wait a minute or two and hopefully we'll get a few more people in. And you know something? I'm going to talk to you today about a really, really cool Valentine's Day hack. Now, we all know that Christmas is past us. And Easter's too, you can't talk about Easter now. But you can talk about Valentine's Day, which is on February the 14th. But my name's Nina Mears. I am a berry farmer in a small town of Barjag in the Mansfield Shire of northeast Victoria, about 180 kilometres from Melbourne. I call this a destination. I love it here. And we do need more farmers. So guys, if you're thinking of becoming a farmer, now's a good time as any because people need to eat. So I've been talking to my friends privately on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, about what I'm doing with farming, and I thought I'd like to start sharing it on our farm page because we've got a little bit more to talk about. We are a greenfields project. That means we started up from nothing and we are building our farm. My husband has an experience in farming, but I don't. I call myself the YouTube farmer. I live my life in strawberry coloured glasses. Anyway, I want to talk to you about what we're doing. We are growing berries, beautiful strawberries that are, and I'm biased, okay? I'm biased. I need to tell you that straight up. Straight off the cuff, I am a biased reporter here. We're growing strawberries as we can, as best we can, without chemicals. It's a hard road, and I think if you're a very, very large-scale farmer, it would be quite difficult. But at the moment, we've only got 15,000 plants, so and we're new and we're starting it, so we are doing something a little bit different. It makes you have to manage things slightly differently as well, because you are working with nature and not against it. And we find now that we have planted our berries and we have some coming here. Here's one now. This is our second crop coming through and it's beautiful. It's quite lovely. There's a difference in the berries that you grow without any use of chemicals. You can't force a lot of the flavour. You have to rely more on nature. I think it could be slightly slower, but the fruit from what I have had feedback on, because we picked about 10 kilos of fruit, it's quite sweet. The fruit's not as big, but it's very, very sweet. The berries are quite sweet, and that's because we try to pick them as late as possible as well, because the more sugar you have, the more sunlight you leave on them, the more sugar you have, the better the fruit. So that's a tip at home for you as well. If you like to grow your strawberries at home and they're not performing, get them in the sun. They need a lot of sun. So I'm going to tell you about a little strawberry fact. And there's a little strawberry fact, and that is, did you know that the strawberry is closely related to the rose? It is in fact there's a lot of plants related to the rose, and the strawberry is. So on Valentine's Day, guys, if you can't give your loved ones a rose, give them some strawberry. I mean, and you know, when you give them chocolate, strawberry and chocolate, dipping chocolate, it's the only way to go with the strawberry. Beautiful. So that's fact number one about the strawberries. They are Fragaria, the different genuses, the hybrids. I've got hybrids now are like a combination of the best performing fruit that is perhaps more disease resistant, and you can get better crop from it. What you would grow commercially is slightly different to what you grow at home, and we buy runners and we then plant them. We like to get 2 years or 3 years out of our plants. It's a lot more work doing that, but I think that there's some benefits of, apart from the cost benefit of having to buy the runners, I think there's benefits. We don't using as much plastic, and we are looking after the plant as well. So I'm going to flip the screen around. I'm going to talk to you about what we're doing now, and this is an important part. This is something I don't believe a lot of farmers do, but we're doing it because, number one, we're not too big, and secondly, because we want to have good, healthy fruit. So I'll flip the screen. I'm going to show you what we're doing, and that is we do flower cutting. The first sort of fruit that comes through is quite small. And what we don't want to have is incredibly small fruit that you can't sell, and it takes a lot out of the plant. So when we plant something, these are only been in for 2 weeks. So what we've done yesterday, we've gone along and we took all the fruit, we cut all the flowers off. Okay, and what we're looking for is beautiful growth. And you don't get that when the poor little plant, all it's trying to do is come out of the ground and produce flowers. We cut them off and we get good leaf cover. So this is a row we haven't done yet, and it's sometimes a little bit hard because you're looking at a plant and you might see 20 flowers on it and you're thinking, hey, there could be 20 berries. But in reality, what you've got is 20 very small berries, or maybe 10, and the poor fruit really is struggling. And you don't want to have, you know, if we're doing things, organically, we can't say we're organic because we are not certified. It's against the law to say you're organic if you haven't gone through that certification, and we respect that. So what we're doing is saying we're growing without chemicals. So what we'll basically do, you'll see that you can't look at his face, he's a farmer, but you can look at his bum. He's there cutting the flowers off. And then we'll go in again and we'll cut the runners off, and then we go in and we cut the weeds off. There's something about a strawberry that it's a very, very popular fruit. It's a very delicious fruit, but it's a lot of maintenance, a lot of work, and I can't see it really ever being automated due to the nature of the little puppies themselves. They're just too hard. So what I'll do is, see here, I'm going along with the scissors and just cut them off. And we'll go down and do that now. So we've got 50 rows, and you know, we've got 15,000 plants. So if you're a big concern and you've got 100,000 plants, it's tough going. So I don't know how we do it on a larger scale, but we want to have fruit that people look for. And in the future, when I've got some delicious fruit that look, I've just picked this morning. This is not the biggest fruit, but it's coming along. It's started the second round, and we'll be able to sell it. And the truth is, you want to have fruit that tastes good. And we're using beautiful fertilizers that are organic, completely certified organic, and are using seaweed, kelp, shrimp, a lot of the things that are known to be beneficial. And we also have something that's a little bit different too. We've got a few weeds, we've got a lot of bugs in here. And I used to freak out, you know, a lot of the beautiful places that you go to, they're often void of any insect life because they use Roundup to kill the weeds in the rows. They have chemicals underneath the plastic to reduce the amount of weeds that grow. And what you end up with is abundant plants in a sterile environment. And we have got a variety of birds here, and the birds are eating the bugs. And then we have got different types of bugs, and they are called beneficials. I'll just turn the screen around. They're called beneficial bugs, and then there are pests. And every day, I think, I think all farmers would do this, but we go along and we check the plants. We'll go and physically look at a couple of rows every day. We walk down, and we hope that we can maintain. Or keep problems in check, because we are out here, and I think all farmers are out there always looking at your crops. I've come to the conclusion it's a lot of work farming, but it's very rewarding, and it's a lot of work. But the strawberries are such a delicious, they're just such a delicious thing to eat. I really do enjoy growing them, but they aren't our primary crop. We are growing blueberries and we are growing raspberries, but they will be, we've had some little setbacks with those on some unforeseen things that occurred, but they will be out later in the year. And we are also growing some watermelon that the geese are actually having a go at. It's annoying. And some pumpkin. And the pumpkin, I think it grew like 5 leaves yesterday in the rain. So the environment here this is my first year living on the farm. I'm going to flip the screen around again, and you're going to have a look at the view that we have. It's quite beautiful. We are only a very, very small farm. Small farms don't mean that they're not profitable, but it means we're doing a lot more high-intensive, small cropping, very intensive work. And that means that, say, if you're a grain farmer, you need a lot of land. And if we had 25 acres or 30 acres of berries, we'd be employing, 30, 40 people. It's huge. So we are working hard on providing great fruit for the local area, and in an organic manner. and enjoying the journey. But it's quite beautiful out here. We had 40 mil of rain yesterday, which meant I didn't have to water my trees. I just had to hand water our trees. Oh, and they're the geese. I thought it was the chooks. But I'm going to walk up here. I'm going to show you. I've got one goose, one chook. She won't go in with the geese are there. I'm going to walk up and show you some of the other fields. And then I will finish this for the day because I want to be sunshine, not sunburn. A strawberry talk. And you can see what happens with the geese. What they do is that they pull out soft leaf plants. So they eat the watermelon because they're very small, but they won't eat the strawberries, but they're eating the bloody leaves on my tulip tree. So they'll go along and they pull out the little weeds and soft plants. They're quite interesting, but they're not going to come in if I am here, which is a bit good, I guess. But this is our crop that we planted quite a few weeks ago, and we're now getting up to the second lot. We've picked probably maybe 10 or 12 kilos of fruit of second. We call them seconds. They're quite small. Taste is good, but what we're looking for at the moment is, yeah, get on your wave, girls. Get on your way. Off you go. Go on. What we've got is good leaf cover happening. And the secret to a good strawberry is good big leaves where photosynthesis can happen. And when we look at these here, we can see they've been knocked about by the wind a bit, and you can see, the start of the fruit is just here. We're looking for big flowers. I'm comfortable now that we're going to get big flowers. Some of the remaining fruit is still a bit wonky in its shape, but it's not bad. I've never grown a strawberry before until here, so it's all new to me. But fortunately, like I said, a good husband who's got a bit more knowledge than I have. We're still learning a little bit. We have different soils here. Different soil you're required for blueberries to strawberries to raspberries. But overall, my friends, life in the country is good. And if you ever thought about being a farmer and growing something, the world would love you, because we really need more farmers. We need people to grow fruit and not have all the fruit grown by 2 or 3 conglomerates. And so come on out and grow some fruit and live in the country. It's quite beautiful. There are the cockatoos up in the trees there. They're not too bad. They don't eat this fruit. We don't have any problems with them at the moment, but I can see what's going to happen over time, that we may have to have some deterrence. As the fruit grows too, you can see there are runners and sometimes they'll have fruit on them, and sometimes they'll just be runners, and we have to cut some of the runners off. There's some good looking fruit. The difference too, see, fortunately in Melbourne we don't have a lot of, in Victoria they don't have a lot of pesticides, which is fantastic. But whenever we pick our fruit, there are a lot more bugs and spiders, yes, freaky spiders, and birds. There is a lot more, but I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to say bye bye. Thank you very much for